and we will gladly take that Draco Shield. Alright, so that's basically going to mean the Thief will go to this spot right here. So what I recommend doing is getting Oscar up here and killing the soldier that's in the way. If Oscar's not promoted, he's not going to have quite enough movement to get there. So if that's the case, throw a javelin or short spear. Hopefully you'll be able to get him regardless. And just kind of block the doorway. The Thief will still come after you because while the Thief can pass through squares, they cannot land on the same square as one of your units. So as long as you're standing in front of the house, you're good. As for the enemy phase, you will not be able to reach Zihark on the first turn, so you will always see this conversation. Yeah, Vigilante's kind of stupid. Nice job, Archer. Really showed him how it's done right there. Yeah, he only did 1 damage because it's just a Myrmidon sword, so that wasn't too bad. It's watching out for the other soldiers primarily, because the other soldiers will actually do a pretty decent amount of damage to her. Give you a good example here. If I can beat this other one with Nephany next turn, with a forced weapon, she can probably take him out. Yeah, quite often you're going to see both of these Lance Knights go after Oscar, and he'll either kill them or get relatively close, and then they'll back off a little bit. Iron Lance break. Yeah, I knew it would break. That's alright. And there comes that Thief. Now that Priest will only move if there's somebody within his range, another enemy unit that's within his range that actually needs healing. If not, he's not going to do anything, so just make a note of that. One more space. And let's turn him into roadkill. Yeah, see, only 1 experience, and that was not just because Leith is getting not as much experience, it's also because, you know, it's a Vigilante that's a level 2 Myrmidon. That will also have something to do with it. Alright, let's knock out the Knight. So I would like to try to get Elfire this level. Oh, nice, critical. I've got a couple options here. I'm gonna go ahead and knock out the Thief. One more. Might as well take a shot at him with a longbow. Oh, nice. Good job, Rolf. Wasn't enough for a kill, but that's alright. Don't think any... Oh, no, Titania needs a little bit of health. We'll go ahead and do that then. I probably moved a little bit too quickly here. I probably should not have put Soren that close to the line of fire, but oh well. Yeah, that'll easily do it. But yeah, see, 8 damage for 22 health. 8 damage is a pretty significant portion. Alright, that takes care of that. Let's get rid of you. Really, this path up here, where most of my units are grouped, that's actually the spot you have to be most worried about. And luckily, we're actually not going to have a lot of units charge these guys, because most of them are weak. Or weakened, health-wise. Yeah, we got one going after Ileana. Hopefully he cannot double. Oh, well, he's not going to be able to now. Sucker. See, that's what I mean. She's frail, but she's just got crazy magic power, and the crit rate helps a lot, too. These guys are just going to kill themselves, basically. And we continue on our merry adventure. You think they would realize that they're just throwing themselves at each other, or at Leith, and just dying immediately. Now, this conversation will change slightly depending on if you have it with Leith or Mordecai. because, like I said, Zihark will just come to you and talk to you immediately. You won't actually have to talk to him. And so he says that he'll distract the townspeople. So, for whatever reason, he's actually on our side. It's not really explained that well why, but I'll leave it as a mystery. If you want to look it up, it's actually kind of interesting. Stutters, I have friends. Shudders. And so he offers to join our group. Which is very good, because this is actually a pretty decent unit. And then he just completely cuts her off, because they don't have time. I've not agreed to this, well, too bad he's joining anyway. Alright, moving over to our new friend Zihark here. He's a Myrmidon. We've seen one of these before with Mia. He's got a Killing Edge starting out, which is actually a very nice weapon. We've not seen the killing weapons yet. This is the first instance of getting one, and a lot of the Fire Emblem games, as a staple, will generally have a Myrmidon early on that will have a Killing Edge. This is obviously that unit. You'll have people like Guy, or different ones like that, Joshua, depending on which Fire Emblem game you played. The killing weapons have a very high crit chance. As you can tell, the crit rate on this one is 30. To put that in perspective, Ileana's L Thunder, which had a really high crit rate, its crit was 10, so 3 times that. Killing Edges and any killing weapon are known most notably for that. So Killer Lance, Killer Axe, Killing Edge, Killer Bow, anything like that has a very high crit rate on it. Not the strongest power-wise, but the high crit rate can help you. So, Zihark as a Myrmidon, his growth rates are as follows. HP 55%, Strength 45%, Magic 15%, Skill 50%, Speed 60%, Luck 40%, Defense 30%, and Resistance 20%. Zihark can actually be pretty good. He does start at a higher level than Mia does. He does have a Killing Edge, obviously. Whenever he trains, from what I've seen, he will always cap Speed and Skill, which is not hard to do, because he's only 7 away in Skill and 5 away in Speed from capping them as a Myrmidon, and he's got 10 levels to do that, so he can usually do that pretty easily. And occasionally he'll get his Strength pretty close to capping as well, because he's got a high stat for that. He's got higher HP than Mia, and he's got higher attack, though he does have lower defense and a little bit lower dodge, so just keep that in mind. As for Zihark, I'm considering using him, not because I think he's a bad unit, it's just that if there's a lot of chapters upcoming where he's not able to fit in because we don't have enough units that are allowed to be selected, then he might just get left out, unfortunately, solely because of that. He is a good unit, and if you're not using Mia, this is who I'd recommend using for your Myrmidon. Very, very good unit to have. So yeah, the Killing Edge works in action here, assuming it gets a crit rate, because it's not guaranteed, but it's pretty high. No, he got it. It still took 2 hits, but he got it. I like how the Killing Edge looks, though. It looks really cool. And then we'll just get this worthless Myrmidon out of here. Alright, that takes care of that. Very nice. She's still near full health. Mia took a little bit of damage, but not that much. I'll go ahead and heal her anyway. I don't think she's in any trouble whatsoever, but you never know. I was hoping we could get one of these guys out, so I guess we'll just do this. Come on, weapon level D. I want to be able to use L-Fire relatively soon. Nothing. Alright. What am I going to do here? I know she won't be able to do much damage to this guy, but it's free experience. Yeah, I might actually bench Ileana. She's not doing so hot for levels, so Zihark might actually have his spot after all. That's really a shame, because the mages in this game can be very, very powerful when you promote them, because they get the ability. You already saw this with Oscar when he promoted. He got to pick a different weapon that he could use. whenever you promote with a mage into a sage, they have the ability to use either healing stabs, or staves, or knives. Now, knives is completely pointless because magic units have virtually no physical offense. But the ability to use a heal staff is very, very nice. And since heal staff is based on your magic power, quite often your mages are going to have a higher magic stat than your actual healers would be. So, like, her magic is 6, and granted, Soren's much higher leveled, but, where do I go to check Soren's, actually? I don't think it's actually going to let me. But to put it in perspective, even though Ileana's a good 5 levels higher, her magic stat is 9, and Mist's is only 6, which Ileana's been doing bad in level ups, so if she was doing good, you could see how much more she would have in magic power. I don't know if that healer's gonna run. Yeah, he's gonna run. Coward. Alright then. Looks like our plan of attack is to set Oscar here, put Rolf behind him. Put Ike right there. Why not? Oh sweet, there's that weapon level up, so she'll be able to use the ward staff now whenever she needs to. Or wants to, really. It's a good way to get a free experience. Yeah, I forgot about you two. Yeah, let's stick with the steel sword. Now, something worth noting, I'm not sure if it's the case with all the houses, but I know it is at least in this one. If you visit any of the houses with a Laguz unit instead of a Bjork unit, so Mordecai or Leith, they will freak out, and while the door will stay open, they will not give you any items, so you have to visit it with a Bjork unit. Like I said, I'm not 100% certain if that's the case with all 3 houses, but I know it's certain on this house. Are you serious? You're healing a healer? Oh my gosh, this is a complete waste of time. Healing a healer. What the heck, man? So dumb. Alright, good. That's what I was hoping would happen. Unless this guy's got crazy offense. Which he missed anyway. Are you serious? There's a third one? Well, now I'm glad she missed. I'm glad she dodged. Oh yeah! There we go. I forgot Nephine's got a skill as well. Zihark actually comes with Adept, which we've already seen Adept. Soren has it. But Nephine comes with a skill called Wrath. Wrath is... it can be a good skill, but it can also screw you over sometimes. I guess we'll talk about it after this cutscene. After you get to a certain point on the map, and it might be a certain turn number, I'm not sure which, you'll have this conversation between 2 of the Wyvern Riders, Jill and Har. And Har would rather take a nap, apparently. So yes, this is part of Dane's Wyvern Knight unit, I guess. So yeah. We don't move until we do not move unless we are attacked. So yes, they will not move to attack you unless you actually go after them. So if you stay out of this range, then you're fine. And I would not recommend going to fight them because you cannot recruit Jill until a later chapter. I believe it is actually the next one. But you cannot get her this chapter. Har will not enter the fight at all. So don't even bother with him right now. What I am going to bother with is killing this guy. Because he looked at me funny. Also, since he does not have a face on his portrait, he must be evil. So if we visit this place with a Bjork unit, not only do we get a completely different person altogether in the house, but we also get the Killer Lance, which is, as you can expect, similar to the Killing Edge, just a lance unit, or a lance weapon instead of a sword. Aside from that, it is very similar. So yes, Wrath, I was going to talk about that. Wrath. It says it increases your critical hit percentage whenever the unit's HP are at half or less. HP hit points are. I don't know. It seems like it'd be HP is at half, but technically, grammatically, that is correct because HP stands for hit points. But whatever. It basically increases your critical hit from whatever number it is, and you add 50 to that. So if it was 5% chance or critical, it's a 55% chance. So it'll make it super high if your HP's, or if your unit's HP is at half of whatever its max is, or less than that. However, this could screw you over potentially, because you might be at a low amount of HP and then kill a unit, but then that would also give room for another unit to just come and attack you right after that, so it could be bad potentially. I am going to go ahead and finish this guy off, though. You stabbed that dude, cold-blooded. Well, that's not quite gonna cut it. See if Soren can get to D in fire magic. I would appreciate it. Nothing yet. He's probably very close. In the failed recording I had, I know he got there, so he's pretty dang close. Get rid of you. Don't want to quite kill him. I want Rolf to get the kill. Oh no, that's going to be way too much. That should work. Very good. Awesome. Alright, that takes care of them. So once you get rid of everybody here, now's kind of the point where you're getting set up to fight the boss, because the boss does move on this map, and he's got a pretty decent range since he's a paladin unit. His stats are kind of bad, though. He has really high resistance, which is strange, but yeah, he's not very good. For a level 5 paladin, those stats are terrible. 13, 14, 13, 14, 12 for a level 5 paladin. Look at Oscar's. He's level 2, so he's 3 levels lower. 16, 18, 19, 16, yeah, much, much higher stat-wise. So, not very good in the way of stats for that guy. Anybody? No, not severely, besides Nephany, who I can't reach. Yeah, once your HP for a unit gets over 40, then it will move down to a second bar, which is kind of cool. I'll go and visit this place with Ileana. Even though I really don't care about the Elven spell, because I'm not going to be using wind. Might as well grab it. Could sell it if nothing else. Alright, you two are okay up here. But keep in mind, like I said, the Black Knight will not come out of that house until the boss has been defeated, so just make sure you keep him away. He won't move unless he's within range, so just stick your units over here in the corner and they'll be fine. Okay, let's see. What I recommend doing is, there's a very easy way to kill this boss, because he's stupid. This guy has the Lagoon Slayer, but he also has an Iron Bow. That right there will be the trick. The Iron Bow is obviously much weaker than the Lagoon Slayer is. You know, 6 to 9 for accuracy, I guess, but that's about all you can say for it. So, what you want to do is keep all of your units just out of range of the boss. Whoever you want to have in front, and then everybody else will, of course, follow behind. So put Rolf right here. I need to heal Ike, so I'll do that very quickly. And yes, I know Nephany's still at 1 HP. So I'm right there. Yeah, you've got all the time in the world pretty much for this. This is a map that you can't really rush that well. You do have to be pretty careful on this one. Alright. Now that we've gotten everybody where we want, Nephany's back at full health. And Mist got a level out of that. Very nice. That wasn't a very good level. HP and defense. Boo. Man. I don't know what it is with my magic units, they're just not cutting it this playthrough. Pretty much send whoever you want out. I would recommend somebody that's got high defense or high dodge, your call, so I'm going to move Oscar up. And then end your turn. This guy's going to run forward and he's got just enough range to hit you with the bow, however he does not with the Lagoon Slayer. So whenever he attacks, he'll be using the bow. Problem for him is, since he will likely not kill your unit, now that he's using a bow, he can't counterattack your physical attacks. As you see, he's got lines across the board, so it's just like if you were fighting an archer, which means you can just basically come in and utterly wreck this guy. So, Regal Sword, you know, whatever you want to do. Keep in mind your magic's not going to be that effective because of his high resistance. As you can see, I'm only doing 6 with Soren, and Soren's got 15 magic, so not the best for that, but aside from that, you know, use whatever you want, whoever you want, pretty much. Go crazy. That's a pretty solid hit. Rolf's gonna get a little bit hurt by this, but that's alright. I'd rather him get the experience. Let's see who else really needs the experience. Really, we could do this. Oh, there we go. Soren got the kill, and hopefully that will get him to D and fire. Surely it would. You just got to use it twice right there. And he also got a level out of it. Nice. How close is he to 20? He's got 4 more levels. Magic and speed. Did he get the weapon level? Yeah, there we go. He also got a Master Seal that the boss drops every time, so you don't have to worry about stealing that or anything. I don't think these guys would have anything, just out of curiosity. No, okay. I didn't think there was really any reason to bring Volk into here, but you never know. The healers are free experience for Rolf or whoever you want to get experience, so I'm not going to bother with those guys. How close are you guys, range-wise? Just out of range? Okay. Switch the Iron Sword for Ike. Go ahead and heal Rolf since he lost about half his health in that one hit. Go ahead and end the turn. And voila! The Black Knight has arrived. Even though he was taller than the entire house, somehow he got through the door. Did I make a miscalculation? Not really. I mean, this is one of the harder maps of the game, actually. At least this early on, this is probably one of the maps that will give you trouble. Oh, Ike, I didn't want you to kill him. I wanted somebody else to get that. You had to hit him with an iron sword. I wasn't thinking you would do that. Let's move another unit into the fray to where they can get hit. That, give him some backup. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to bench Ileana for this playthrough. She's just not doing that well this time around. If she gets good level ups on her first couple levels, then by all means use her. She's just not doing that well this playthrough, so unfortunately that will happen. For anybody that's played Fire Emblem, sometimes if you have a unit that's normally really good, if they just get really bad level ups multiple times in a row, like Ileana has, sometimes you can't use them. Even though they're normally really good, sometimes they just don't fall like that, which is kind of a shame, but sometimes it happens. Very nice. Not bad, I'll take the speed. I would have liked point and strength, but that's alright. I'm not going to bother wasting a forged weapon on a healer. Yeah, you poke that guy. Show him his boss as he just stands there creepily staring at you. Oh, that's too much. That'll actually kill him. Will let Mia probably take on this guy. At this point, we don't need any of our access units. We can just put them over in the corner here. I'll bring Oscar just in case things get into his bad situation with that knight, but I doubt it will happen. You two are not going anywhere because I do not want the Black Knight getting you. Like I said, he won't move unless you get within his range, but you could get free experience from these guys all day long if you wanted to. They're just going to heal each other. Not the longbow. Let's use that. Don't need to be all fancy here. Alright, very good. I can probably turn off the combat animations for her, but I keep forgetting to do it, so... You can just watch her stab this dude over and over. There we go. 16, 16, 42, 59. Alright, Soren, all yours. Free healing, because she can always use the experience and the weapon level. That's the one issue with having your mages or your sages, whenever they class up, being healers, is it is going to take a little while for them to get the staff weapon levels to about C is where you want them, because C is where you can use a ranged staff that we have not seen yet. So it will take a little bit, but it does pay off whenever you can do it. So if you can get a good Ileana and a good Soren, you can find yourself having 3 healers that are all very good. In my case, it looks like I'm just going to have 2 with Mist and Soren. I suppose she can attack this guy and do damage. Nope. But you know what I could do? Ah, wrong person. Sorry about that random cut. I got something caught in my throat, and so I took a drink because it was really disgusting, and I probably would have had a hairball moment and coughed it up if I hadn't have taken a drink. So, brief pause there. My bad. So I can't do that. Oscar doesn't have the ability to shove. So I guess she, well, 8, 10, 16... Yeah, just go ahead and take the kill, Mia. You might as well. Might as well. Dodge, and he's out of there. Alright, so with all the units gone, except for the 3 Dragon Riders in the corner and the Black Knight himself, we can go ahead and finish off the level. Anybody need healing before I go? Might as well. I'll gladly take that, and let's go ahead and finish the chapter. Awesome. So we are officially safely out of Crimea. We've met twice. So yeah, apparently Ranulf was also there whenever Grail was murdered. By measuring his 8 strength, I will not. No, you won't. Ranulf is not near as strong as the king is. The Knigas is much, much stronger. But this will give you an idea of how strong the Black Knight is, though. No damage. And he missed. That battle is actually a legitimate one. You can't see like their HP or whatever, but I've seen Ranulf miss both times in there. I've seen him hit both times and do no damage. I've seen the Black Knight do a normal attack instead of a critical. Apparently somebody just healed Ranulf. Oh hey, it's that guy. What's up, dude? This knight will not raise his hand to me, correct? So he's helped the Black Knight before, I guess? I mean, that was the reason he got arrested in the first place, was helping Braum and Nephany, so he might have helped that guy before. That was a good nap. Well, fighting's over. Time to leave. The Black Knight has ordered us to withdraw. Would you ignore his word? That would be suicide. Yeah, that would be massive suicide. Don't even think about it. Hey, Norris, how's your brother Chuck doing? We're ready our own ship and set sail without delay. We can overtake it immediately. Yeah, do not mess with the Black Knight, dude. Don't even try, especially not an archer. An archer has no shot at beating that guy. Don't get me wrong, snipers are good, but that guy's no shot. A green-haired lass is aboard the ship. Oh, Nephany? Yeah. She was, Oh, Valencia. Oh, okay. What, Nephany had kind of greenish hair. Hers is more like a teal kind of color, but either way. Give them the hardest physical labor in this town and get those fools started. That's what you get. No! 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 Yeah, they'll get over it. We're safely on the ship, and that's what matters. I didn't think you were going to make... You specifically thought Ike himself was not going to make it. I'm so happy. Hey dude, what's up? The King's Shadow himself. Yeah, it would be the Black Knight. He's pretty insane. Interesting. Yeah, his next target is Gallia. Let's go home and pray. Yeah, they're absolutely the next target, for sure. And here we have, I think, our first introduction of actually seeing Ashnard himself. They mentioned him, but this is the first time we actually see him, I believe. So I have a conversation between him and the Black Knight. You'll see a couple of these throughout the game. Has our worm worked itself into the group? It appears that our worm has been accepted as a trusted member of the company. And no, I was not making that up. It is not Zihark. Zihark is not the worm. So they're looking for the medallion, which, as you can probably already guess by now, is the medallion that Mist actually carries. So our only concern is the Princess of Crimea and the medallion. So that's what they're actually after in starting this war. So he wants the Black Knight to take charge of Gallia's invasion. Be smart, just have the Black Knight go in there. He can single-handedly beat them all. Alright, whatever. So, with that out of the way, Ike and his mercenary group are safely on board the ship. It is clear now that King Ashnard is looking for both the medallion that Mist has and Princess Crimea herself. And it looks like Gallia will probably be going to war relatively shortly with Dan, or I guess it's technically the other way around. So what will become of our mercenary group, and will they actually make it to Benyon? Find out next time on Let's Play Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. See you guys then.